So the flares from the sun are actually particles, subatomic particles in plasma following the filaments that connect the sun to the planets. All the planets are connected to the sun through plasma tubes, or what they call ropes, plasma ropes. Um, every planet has counter-rotating fields going into their poles from the sun. These counter-rotating plasma fields are currents. And this is why we have the solar, or the northern lights. They travel at different directions, or you have wave patterns in the lights. They're starting to figure this out. But the electric universe has been studying this for hundreds of years. So the bands of the planets, so the atmosphere traveling different directions in these bands, is caused by these plasma currents that encounter rotating fields. And the currents you can be seen through the flares of the sun. When they talk about connection and reconnection and stuff like that, that's the sun emitting more or less particles through these magnetic ropes. So the whole point to this is, and I've been predicting this for 2 years, when planets align, we have to pass through both of these magnetic ropes at the same time. And so if there's going to be an earthquake on Earth, the earthquake will be when Earth is subject to the most stress. And the most stress Earth will ever be subject to is when it has to pass through Jupiter and Saturn's magnetic ropes at the same time. This is why I've been predicting that there will be one of the world's largest quakes will occur in 2020. So I predicted 2 years ago, and last year there was, I think, a 9.0 in Chile. But here we go. I'm showing you on the Universal Sandbox 2 as we come into alignment, and the purpose here is the actual conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn is going to happen in December 21st of 2020, and the Earth will actually enter these plasma currents in June, so 6 months before the alignment. And that's so to say that there's going to be a quake on the conjunction would actually, I would be 6 months off. And the fact is, Earth actually is entering since these currents are so large, Earth is actually going to enter these currents towards the ends of February. I drew direct lines to show you approximate vicinity. And so here we are in the dates in the bottom. Not on that one. The dates in the bottom left hand corner. Except I'm showing my toolbox there. So at this point, as Earth enters these Birkeland currents of these two planets, this is where the stress is going to be, and this is where we're going to have this massive earthquake that I've been predicting. So as Earth passes through, it's not until December 21st that we actually come into alignment, but we're no longer on that side of the sun. So all the planets were on the left-hand side of the sun as we came in alignment. So the sun is being pulled by all the planets in the same direction. So you would expect large plasma effects, especially during a solar maximum, but since we're in solar minimum, you're not going to see that much of an effect. But you can see how all the planets are basically on the same side of the sun. So this is where you have the strongest gravitational, magnetic, and solar wind effects that can happen, and the most stress on Earth, and this is when you're going to have your biggest earthquake. And so we're going to see earthquakes ramp up, we're going to see a major quake, and it's going to take a while for them to die off. And that prediction's been going on for 2 years now.